So in the last class, we were and still we are in the third anga. So the first anga is asana, second anga pranayama, and the third anga here is called pratyahara. So the difference between yogic pratyahara and Vedantic pratyahara, or that too here Goraksha way of looking at, or Natha pratyahara, there is difference. Actually, Natha pratyahara goes along with Vedantic pratyahara. Because a common person, when thinks of pratyahara sabda, the word, thinks to withdraw. Maybe out of helplessness, or seeing the complication, suffocation, or sometimes looking at the consequences. So that is how the withdrawal happens. And that withdrawal is temporary. That's why when I withdraw from one, I get involved in another. Because that emptiness, that void that is in me has to be fulfilled, has to be taken care. And that's why everybody do pratyaharam, positively or negatively. So other positive pratyahara is after a good food up to neck. And suddenly you discover there is ice cream which you like very much. What you will do? I am doing my pratyahara. You understand? So that is called positive pratyahara. And negative pratyahara you know better, okay? We have given a lot of yesterday example, so let us not get into that. But here technically he puts it. So pratyahara means not withdrawing yourself physically, but withdrawing the sense of that aspect from the object. So keeping with that, yesterday we chanted, let us chant once more. Yam yam snunati karanabhyam apriyam priyam eva va tam tam atmeti vijnaya pratyaharati yogavid. So here he says yogavid pratyaharati, not sadhaka. So the knower of yoga means a yogi does pratyaharam. So how does the pratyahara does? So there is knowledge. So what is that knowledge? He says Atma Jnanam. So without Atma Jnanam, there cannot be ultimate pratyahara. So what sort of pratyahara, what sort of withdrawal? How the person withdraws? How it works? He says, look, first of all, yam yam snurati karnabhyam. As you keep hearing by the help of 2 ears, whether it is priya to you, whether it is apriya to you, whether it is dear to you or not dear to you. And once you start hearing, that hearing will continue. And for a common person, what is withdrawal? What is pratyahara? You understand? Our best friend, monkey. Don't forget, without bringing him, our class is not complete, okay? So you close your ear. A moment you close your ear, then you will look at time and everything on it, whether everybody has gone or not. So when they are going to go away, so that I can open my ear. Again, you will continue to listen to or not. And the sad part is, when you close your ear, along with the bad things also, you will miss good things. In your life, you will never listen, because that fellow was never listening to anybody. That's why he adopted this, okay? Neither he listened to anybody, nor he saw anything. Whatever he knows, that was perfect. Anyway, this is my favorite topic, okay, that's why. But here he says little differently. So what is to be done here is, whatever you hear, whether it is good or not, whether it is dear to you or not, whether it is right or wrong, everything may you know that is you. That is Atma. What sort of understanding? Then there is no need for you to run away, to escape. Because so-called pratyahara is running away or escaping or managing the situation. But what here you do? Okay. There what is done? Hearing takes place, but you are not involved. So withdrawing the sense of hearing from the object of sound. Is it clear? It is exactly like if you observe that mother example I'll give, then I'll come to others example. The child will make noise. Mother hears the noise, but mother is undisturbed. But if there is some different tone, different thing, same mother will rush. You understand? Because knows what is wrong. Because each sound has got a different impact. Mother knows, only mother, not others, okay? I think wants to go to toilet. Wants to eat, you understand? So for each sound, there will be some type of connection. Only mother can understand, not anybody. It's a really nice thing to observe. Whereas other people, why is what is happening? You get irritated. Another example I would like to give you. Suppose you are in India, that too in festival time. I'll give you an example. This Navaratri time, especially Ashtami, Navami, Dashami, you should come to Odisha, Cuttack. It is almost impossible, okay? And it's worth one lifetime you should visit that. Ashtami, Navami, Dashami, 3 days. At least Cuttack once you should visit. Only noise, noise and noise. In our time it was worse. Now they have made a restriction, okay? I think after 11 o'clock you cannot make sound. In our time there was no restriction at all. Don't ask, okay? Only you will find morning 6 to 9 peaceful. However, coming back to the point, then where you are there full of noise, now the sound enters in you, but are you connected to any sound personally? You are not connected. Only when somebody calls your name or something related to you, only that sound you hear. So how you are not able to hear other sound? Somebody is scolding somebody, apriyam. Do you bother? Do you care? Somebody says oh, you are very nice, things are happening. Do you bother? Because your target priority is that how to see all the pandals, all the devis. How quickly I can complete all the places of worship. So you are least bothered. So how that happens is a very practical example. Same thing also here. When Atma Jnanam is predominant in me, so I am focusing on me, myself. To understand me, because I have my own vasana. I have my own prarabdha package. I have my own sadhana too. So always there is a mixture of these three things. Remember this. One is my prarabdha. So prarabdha means that is supposed to happen, to be fructified, to be experienced, nothing can be done. And behind prarabdha, there is also my vasana, impressions. So that is much more complicated. And the third one is my sadhana. Now one side my sadhana, other side my prarabdha and vasana. And there is fight constantly. And when this fight takes place, now there is only one thing, that my jnana, Of course, grace. Krupa and Jnanam only is helpful, nothing else. Now, when this is the case, this Krupa and Jnanam become helpful, becomes the tool for me to resolve, for me to address, for me to calm down, for me to handle the situation gracefully. Now, if this is the case, what is to be done? So he says, look, there, tam tam atma iti, jnanam takes over. And of course, supported by your sadhana, and of course, there is blessing, there is krupa. And what happens? The sound continues. But I don't identify it, that it is dear to me, it is not dear to me either. As we do inevitably in a crowd. Same thing being extended to everywhere in my life. Continuing. Agandham athava gandham yam yam jigrati nasika tam tam atmati vijnaya atmet tam tam atmeti vijnaya pratyaharati yogaviti. So same concept. So first example he gives with reference to ear, because the sound is far away, you can smell, you can hear from a distance. So next to sound comes what? Smell. Because you can hear even if from kilometers away, if the loudspeaker is available. You understand? Whereas you cannot smell kilometers away unless you are living in industrial area. Okay? So if you are living in industrial area, yes, possible. So that's why next to sound puts it gandham, smell. So you can smell quite far away than sound. So that's why he highlights this aspect, that look, yam yam agandham athava gandham jigrati nasika tam tam eva atmaiti vijnaya pratyaharati yogavit. Same concept with reference to also this gandham, smell. That's why somebody said, look, God is very partial and sometimes he doesn't have brain. Because it is very much smelling. And nose in such a way, not only I do like this, also do not, all my facial expression goes up. Had he kept the nose, especially on the head, then nostril could have been up, then less smell could have come. I would have become free. Good, that's good idea. But imagine, when nose starts running, so you can take tissue paper, imagine it runs here. What will happen? So you have to make sure that no hair should be there. Still it will start falling. So imagine this sort of things. People ask funny questions. So you have to imagine also funny way of answering them. Okay? Funny answers. However, see here, it is not what I should smell, what I should not smell. Understanding me as that, so that spontaneously I accommodate. I don't have to distance. It is exactly always this thing comes to me very nicely, carefully. All this, both this Brahma, Vishnu. Brahma, Shiva. Vishnu is a little careful. Brahma and Vishnu, these two entities. So these two entities, Brahmaji will come to know when anybody prays him, knows things are going to go wrong. But he will appear and give the boon. And Lord Shiva, of course, knows disaster. And he will say, what can I do? I am helpless. When somebody prays, what can I do? This is my duty. Whether the person wants to take over me, let him, no problem. I have to take care of. That is called understanding. And because of this reason, Brahmaji goes through difficulties. Because of this, Shivaji, don't ask what hell he go through. Every time he goes through difficulties. But he continues to do so. And because he continues to do so, that's why we call him as God. That's why when we have problem, we go to him. Okay, you understand? Such a beautiful way of looking at this thing. Whereas Vishnu is very careful, okay? He will direct in such a way, he will handle the situation in such a way where he is not part of it. Because he is a manager, what can you do, okay? You know, whoever is a manager, do they do anything? Only they pass on the buck to others, okay? However, let us not get into, but Vishnu doesn't pass on the buck, okay? Wrong. However, coming to the point here, same thing also with reference to Gandham. Then third one, Amedhyam athava medhyam. Yam yam pashyati chakshusha. Tam tam atmeti vijnaya. Pratyaharati yogaviti. Now, next one comes with reference to that food taste. So that means what he says, look, sorry, I made a mistake. Medhyam is chakshusha is eyes, I made a mistake. Object of perception. So medhyam means, it's a very nice word they use. That which is purified, sanctified, means that which will not have create a deep impression in you later on. If we observe that a very small concept, you can observe this point. Let us say food is being prepared. Same food you have prepared in a proper way. So when I say proper way, taking bath, cleaning of the place and everything, not tasting. So although it has been prepared, not even if voluntarily smelled, voluntarily seen. Remember, this is the most important aspect. Involuntarily you can smell. Involuntarily you can see. But not voluntarily you cannot smell nor see. Now, when this is being done, you have done very well. And that food actually becomes lighter, not heavier to digest. And that food gives rasam, not kitam. Padma Purana, okay? So we got these two words, okay? Rasam, kitam. And interestingly, imagine with all the paraphernalia you have brought, now the moment food is served, somebody's eyes fall in a very, voluntary way. Oh, nice. You understand? You will discover that is no more purified, that is no more sanctified. That's why technically what we do in a gathering, or even if in house, even if no circle, everybody knows we'll get the food, we chant mantra while serving time. Because we do not know who is in which stage of mind. So that at least you divert that person's mind while chanting. So when the person starts chanting, at least you will discover minimum 50% of what? That impact will be reduced. But don't worry. Left hand touch, right hand touch, you know how people do it, okay? Especially in after 15 days I'll see here, okay? That's why I'm preparing myself. So, however, please understand this point. The moment we have subjective look, subjective view Or you can say made to experience. You will discover that food is no more medhyam. It is not necessary, this alcohol, meat and other things called amedhyam, others are medhyam. Not necessarily. Of course, they are gross. I am talking about here the subtle aspect. Or else you would have used pathyam, apathyam. So instead of saying pathyam, apathyam, not apathyam, okay, you're not, you're this thing, okay, paityam, apaityam, okay, don't bring that, okay. So pathya, not paitya. So paitya means, mad, okay, in Tamil, okay. So, however, so coming to the point here, the food is always connected, or the sanctity of food is always connected with the subjective approach of a person. That's why personally, I don't like, you know me. Food, the one who serves wants to sit down for food. Because when you serve and again you want to sit down, that means you will have lot of subjectivity. That is sharing. That will not happen. That will not work. And that person will have more insecurity. Nowadays, women have more insecurity all over the world because of this reason. Because they don't want to serve. They want to sit together. Let us keep the things together, eat. Because when a woman serves, but by default, one will feel secure. That security comes by serving. That is the basic thing nowadays is missing. And man becomes secure by taking care of it, responsibility. These are the two different things altogether. If the man does not take responsibility, man wants woman to take responsibility. Disaster. And woman wants man to serve. That's also another equally disaster. You understand the concept, how it works? This is how the body is. This is how the mind is. And it is based on my prarabdha. It is not based on God or anybody. Today I am man because of my prarabdha. Today I am a woman because of my prarabdha. I have to accept it. I cannot fight. It is not possible. So that's why by serving, me being a woman serving, that's why in bhakti culture, why service is being highlighted? Because in bhakti culture, what they say, that only Lord Krishna is Purusha, all other than him, everybody is Stri, woman, iti. That's why serve, serve and serve. This is the concept comes there. They take this aspect. You don't have to bother. He is the responsible. Because he is Purusha. He is the man. So coming back here, that medhyam or medhyam, that's why I stretch a little bit. Sanctified, not sanctified. The food, because the food has got bigger impact in me. As hearing has got impact long term. And of course, smell also has impact, little. And food has got immediate impact. Continuing. Asprishyam athava sprishyam. Yam yam sprusati charmana. Tam tam atmeti vigyaya. Pratyaharati yogaviti. So which translation I have not given, but however you will get it back. Same thing, same concept. Asprishyam athava sprishyam. That which is untouchable, asprishyam. Sprishyam means touchable. And does, or it happens by what? Charmana, with the help of skin. So the sense of touch takes place through the skin, by the help of screen, through the screen, sorry, skin, not screen, skin. Then what happens? Whether it is touchable or untouchable. And may you know, that is also you. Means there is nothing away from you. There is nothing different from you. When there is nothing different from you, where can you go? What can you do? So there what do you work? You work to grow out of it, to accommodate, not to accept, but to accommodate. As the space accommodates. That's why you don't fight. Only you go through. They say very nicely, how to know that whether you are matured or not? Ask yourself, do you fight with yourself? If you are fighting within, you are not yet matured in any level. That person is a mature person who does not fight, he who accommodates. And while accommodating, tries to do what is to be done. Whereas, with reference to small things, if I keep fighting, that means what? I am struggling, I want to prove myself, I am different, I am special. It proves that I am not matured. So here he says same thing also, whether it is ausprusham or sprusham, whether it is touchable or untouchable. By the help of the skin, now still I understand what? I am everything. That means what? Even if somebody touches or not touches, it makes no difference to me. Even if some touching happens, I am least bothered because I have withdrawn myself from there. Continuing. Last one we'll take today. Lavanyam alabhyanam va yam rasati jihvya tam atmeti vijñāya pratyaharati yogaviti. So the last one he comes to jihva, the taste, the tongue, okay? So tongue does the tasting. So what does it says? So all these 6 types of food. So he highlights lavanyam, salty. Alabhyanam, other than salty. Don't say not salty, okay? Other than salty items, okay? Sweet, pungent, sour. Other than that. He says, look, yam rasati jihvaya. Actually, he takes this salt mainly in yogic practice especially. Salt has got a very big role to play. In fact, when we start practicing yoga, the first step we do is we reduce eating salt. In fact, it is better not to take salt. And if at all you are taking salt, better to take sea salt, not this so-called iodized salt. This refined, purified salt is not good at all. It is better to take sea salt directly, absolutely no problem. Nowadays, new trend started coming. In fact, I remember in our childhood, we didn't have this iodized salt. We had only sea salt. And those days, iodized salt was costly, that's why people did not buy. And sea salt is really cheap. And they used to store for years. Because animal has to eat a lot of things. Animals have to be given. Now, due course of time, very nicely, This so-called advertisement, this and that, they destroyed our mind. So this is not healthy, this is not purified, this is not this thing, iodized, this, that, all these things. Finally, what happened? Nobody wants sea salt. Now new trend started coming. If it is sea salt, it is more costly. It's amazing. In India, if the sea salt is being sold somewhere, it's much more costly than the packeted. How is it possible? Don't ask me, okay? So it is just creating a trend, you understand the concept? And we go along with the crowd. Whatever crowd and whatever so-called educated people highlight with their agenda, we accept it. And here, point I would like to say, in Yoga Shastra, salt plays a big role. So that's why he brings this salt or unsalt. And interestingly, and he says, look, with the help of Jiva, whatever you do, remember that also, may you know, is Atma. And knowing that Atma, what is the need? So that means, in short, neither I run behind, nor I run away. Again, I am repeating. Neither I run behind, nor I run away. That is called Pratyahara.